You have now tuned into Insight Sundays, the show that brings you relevant news, youth topics with a new mission and focus for our communities. Here is your host, Adrian Mickens.
What's going on, Indianapolis? It's your main man, Adrian Mickens, with another edition of Insight Sundays, presented by Harambe Production on AM 1310, The Light. As always, we have to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, which are Andrew J. Brown Academy, Indiana Christian Leadership Conference, Buttons and Bows Hair Salon, Bethesda Temple Southeast Campus, New Vision Lighthouse Ministries, Lighthouse Academy Charter Schools, Providence Crystal Ray High School, Sam Ash Music Store, Beach Grove Bible Church, and our two newest sponsors to the show is Inner Beauty and New Boy or New Breed. So, Indianapolis, we have another fantastic show in the house today. We have none other than
Mzmuah. How you doing?
Mzmuah is in the house. From what organization are you from again?
Lipstick Entertainment.
Lipstick Entertainment. And don't let the name fool you guys. They are actually community activists. They get out and they make sure that they serve the community in a great, phenomenal way. And speaking of that, there's an event that you have coming up this month. Share a little bit about that and what we got going on with that.
So the event that we have coming up this month is called Give and Sip, and it's going to be on April the 22nd from 1 to 4. It's at 55 South State Avenue, Suite 318. It's so hard for me to be interviewed, seeing that I do that all the time.
That's all right.
It's all good. It's in honor of the Julian Center, and being a survivor of domestic violence, we definitely do something every year so that we can honor them. So this year is no different.
All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, let me ask you this question. I know that you have a passion for giving.
Yes.
I take it that's more than one of the reasons why you actually started your organization to do the things that you do. So
yes.
Why is it that you have such a passion for giving?
I think that's where your biggest blessings come in at, is giving back. And I know that I've been in some situations where people have given to me and I didn't ask them to, or I may have asked them to, but you always want to pay it forward, like the drive that we do every year with Christmas. We were here during that time. That happened to me, so I have to pay it forward. I have to do that for the children every year. And even with this drive, I'm a survivor of domestic violence myself. It's very important to me, and I appreciate what the Julian Center does in the community. So we definitely want to give them, whatever we can.
So like roles within your company, I know you have, helpers and different things like that work with your organization. What do you look for when you're going through your hiring selection to be a part of your organization?
I look for women that are upbeat. I look for women that do not compete with other women. I look for women that, have a certain level of grace about themselves, that are outgoing, and that love to give. That's all you need to be a part of Lipstick Entertainment.
And I'm glad that you said it. Do you think that the visionary thing comes from, I guess as we say, black on blacks trying to bring each other down? Or is it, just something from a competitive nature? Why do you think that is where we have a divisionary standpoint where somebody's trying to outdo the other when you're doing organization giving back type stuff like that?
I think it has a lot to do with insecurities because people that are secure of themselves, they can support themselves as well as other people. So if you're insecure, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, or blue, you're going to have a hard time helping other people and working with other people. Just my opinion, though.
Got you. No, that's very good. Let me ask you this question involving around, women's empowerment. I know that's another vocal point, of your company, of Lipstick Entertainment. What events have you been to in the past in Indianapolis that maybe you can give a reference to a woman or a young lady who's listening to right now that could help them out and, from a motivational standpoint? Who do you look at as an inspiration that inspires you?
Oh, man, that's a good one. Event-wise, whenever we have the women's empowerment event here, I suggest that women go out to that because it's phenomenal. And Lipstick, every time it's here, we're there all together in our tees and listening. It's a great time, and it's a great way to be refilled with information. Who do I look up to? All of my sister friends. Everyone in my circle, we all are pretty much branded and doing different things. So I look up to them, and I've learned to surround myself with positive people because those are the people that are going to keep you moving.
Have you ever been a part of a panelist event yourself where you were actually the speaker giving advice to the youth? And how did that work for you?
Well, recently I was a part of an event where different women came, different backgrounds, different survivors, and we came together and we were just able to give our stories, and the listeners were there and they asked us a number of questions. Who are we? What did we go through? And it worked out well. I think that any time that I can speak or give back, I do so.
At those events, and I know it could be targeted to a particular audience, do you see an audience of young ladies coming in there, or do you see women coming in there who haven't quite got their bearings on life and now they're trying to get it back on track? Is it a mixture of both, or which ones do you normally see?
It's a mixture of both. Usually if I see women of age, then they are coming to support someone else. But for the most part, it's usually younger women that are looking for that guidance and needing, that information.
Okay, absolutely. That's good there. Well, let me ask you this question too as well. What events are coming up this year that you want to maybe get out to the people or let them know for what's going on in the future, maybe for yourself or some upcoming empowerment events that some women may have going on here in the city?
Well, of course, we have, like I said, the Give and Sip. That is April the 22nd. So make sure you come out and bring your new and gently used items for the Julian Center. After that, on the 29th, if I could get some words out today, the breast cancer walk is in the city, and so we always do that. It's another one of our causes. And outside of that, we kind of plan by season. So we know Christmas time what we're going to be doing, but we're really up for hire. A lot of times people ask us to join an event or organization that they have, and we make that possible also.
How can organizations be a part? Like I know you say you guys are part of the breast cancer awareness. If anybody else wants to maybe get a part of that with their organization, how do they go about doing that?
Well, you can always follow us, contact us, email us. We're on Facebook. We have two different pages. One is Lipstick Entertainment. The other one is Lipstick Entertainment Presents Queen, which is our radio show. And then outside of that, you can always email us at lipstickentertainment.bod@gmail.com.
All right. Say that one more time, because I know some people try to write down those addresses.
Yeah.
Say that one more time and information again.
Our email address is lipstickentertainment.bod@gmail.com. And if you're wanting to find us and follow us on Facebook, it's Lipstick Entertainment and Lipstick Entertainment Presents Queen.
All right. With that being said, once again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in on air and also live on Facebook at Insight Sundays. Once again, that is Facebook at Insight Sundays, or you can catch us on Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to finish up the interview. Welcome back, Indianapolis, to another edition of Insight Sundays. Once again, I am your main man, Adrian Mickens, and I'm here with Ryan Mzmuah Wilson as we go into our second half about Lipstick Entertainment. And what's the event once again that you have?
It is Give and Sip, April the 22nd.
All right, and where is that at?
That is 55 South State Street and Suite 318.
All right. So now let's kind of dive right back into your company and what you guys do, because I know you guys have a lot of different branches. I know another one of your branches that you do is also in radio. Yes. I know I had you guys on here before. So how has it evolved? And what's the show that you have that people can check and see throughout the week? What's going on with that?
So we do have a radio show called Lipstick Entertainment Presents Queen, and the focus of the show is to empower our people. And so we have business owners, we have average everyday people, we have people with stories, we have people that just come in and make us laugh. We have all kind of people that come on the show, and the object of the show is to just uplift each other and have a good time. It's every Tuesday from 7 to 9 on New Beat Radio.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, because I know you're a leader. So how challenging is it because there's a lot of people who want to be in production, especially young ladies and young men who, that is definitely a strong point right now that a lot of people are trying to get into is media. How hard is it to be a producer of your own show?
It's difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's difficult because I have to come up with not only the personality that you see on the air talking to people and getting their stories, but everything on the outside, which is, whatever theme we're going with that week, all of the guests, just all of it, props, you name it. So it can be kind of overwhelming. But what I do is I like to think ahead and put things together in advance, and it kind of helps me along.
All right. Well, that's good. That's very good. All right. So let me ask you this question. I know a couple of your series that you had on your show. One of them was a King series where you specifically promoted, black men who were doing positive things within the community. It was a great series. I was actually a part of one of those shows that you had. My question is that there's a lot of hidden gems here in the city of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they are not being promoted properly in the media?
I think a lot of times it has to do with what you set yourself up with. What that means is who's in your network. Where are you going? What are you doing? You have to put yourself in some positions to be able to get the type of exposure that you need. You need to brand yourself. I feel like everybody has a brand, whether you have a business or not, you still have a brand. So the things that you say, it carries with you. It goes with you wherever you go. I think a lot of times people have a hard time getting exposure also because they're inconsistent. Whatever you want to do, stick in that.
Yes.
And then once you get a proper following in that, or you get ahead in that, then branch out to do different things. Because like me, yes, Lipstick Entertainment was the start, but now I have a show. Now I judge things. Now I host things. But you got to start somewhere. And I think sometimes we have to be more consistent if we're looking for a more of a bigger goal.
You know, I'm glad that you said that, especially within the entertainment industry, because, you know, I'm going to be honest, I call them whiners. You know, most people think that people are blackballing you within the industry, and you're doing it to yourself. You know, you can't do different things that are not professional and expect for people to speak a shining light about you. You know, it's a danged if you do, danged if you don't situation. And if you want people to take you seriously, people reference other people.
True.
So I want everybody to understand that if you're running a company, or especially in entertainment, your work ethic, if you are training with somebody or you're working with somebody, make sure that you're dedicated with that person and showing them that you're dedicated about what you do and about their brand. And I'm pretty sure along the way, sometime or another, it will be your turn to branch out and do the things that you want to do, and you'll be blessed behind that too as well. So never try to, I won't necessarily say sabotage, but work for someone else as though as you will work for yourself if they're actually trying to get you to the next level. Because, you know, I'm very pro entrepreneurship. If anybody ever asks me, I'm very pro entrepreneurship, but you do have to start somewhere and then grow till you get to the next level. Another reason why I asked you that question specifically about, you know, media and promotion and stuff like that, I seen one time, and it bothered me so bad because there are so many businesses on a mainstream level, and the mainstream news does not promote them. I was watching the news one time, and they promoted a coffee shop. But not necessarily it was a coffee shop. The promotion was you can bring your cat into the coffee shop. And that was the promotion. You see what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like, to me, it's so many businesses out there that are helping to generate dollars within the economy, also generating a career for people. To disrespect them in that way, that really bothered me a lot. What would you say to mainstream media that does not promote the businesses that we see all the time?
I would say there's more than the eye see. You know what I mean? Don't keep doing the same things. There are so many people, even in this city, that are talented that just need the proper light. So like I was saying earlier, I think it's important on positioning yourself well. You kind of have to look at yourself and look at some of the patterns that you're doing. If you're spinning the same wheels and you're getting the same results, you're never going to make it to the media. You need to do something else. You need to surround yourself around movers and shakers.
And let me ask you this question too, as far as like, you know, because I always, you know, get on both sides. If you were an artist, you know, we get a lot of people who try to give us different things and it's not packaged right. So what would you tell them the proper etiquette to get themselves together to get ready to get to the next level when it comes to mainstream media? What would you tell those artists about that?
I would say to look at yourself like you see food. Presentation is everything. If something looks disgusting, if it looks like it's not done, if it looks like it's halfway done, you're not going to eat it. You're not going to want it. You may get up and leave. So when you're packaging your material as artists, you have to look at your stuff the same way and say, would somebody be interested in this? Is this appealing to the eye? What does it represent? I think we should take more time and put time into ourselves and the images that we put out there for other people.
Images, yes, absolutely important. You know, from going back to a little bit of what I was saying about how the mainstream media promotes our image. What would you say that we need to do as a community, specifics put aside individually, what should we do as a community to change our image? Should we come collectively together and create more businesses together? Should we do more things where, which is happening right now, where there's so many youth organizations? What should we do as a community to change our image? Because image is everything.
It is.
And the way that people perceive a ethnicity. And I won't say for right now, the African Americans are, to me, right now, are deemed as we're going back to the civil rights era. And I'm just being honest. Like, this is what I see day to day, especially after the election and protesting and different things like that. And everything has re-sprouted back out on a mainstream level.
Right.
Because it's always been going on, but on a mainstream level of Black power and different things like that.
Yeah.
So what do you think we need to do to, change our personal image in the media?
I think that image comes from repetition of different things. So if they see us in a negative realm over time, they're going to assume that we're negative. They're going to assume that we're aggressive. We're going to assume all these things. I think what we should do is focus on the people in our community that provide different services and work together. And that's going to bring some attention. If you have some people that have restaurants, go to their restaurants. If you know there are people with car washes, go to their car washes. With clothing stores, until it brings this big community together, now we can make change, because there's more than one. There's a number doing positive things.
And I'm so glad that you said that, because there are tons of small Black businesses who do create these opportunities and these businesses for people to go to, like the Latino community. When they come, to the United States, they make their own grocery stores. You see them all around.
Yes.
Like, you go to some areas in LA, there's Chinatown. You see what I mean? Like, there are specific places for their ethnicity.
Yeah.
It seems like, to me, everything for us is just scattered. And maybe at one point in time, it was completely different, like when Harlem first opened. You see what I mean? Like, it was a complete
Black
difference.
Wall
And maybe
Street.
we missed that, in our lifetime. Why is that so hard to bring back?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with slavery. And I think it has a lot to do with the information that was put into us with Willie Lynch and the letter and the separation of the individual shades and all of that. I think it's something that's in our heads over time that says, oh, I can't work with you. I can't, connect with you. I can't. It's just something that's in our psyche that we have to talk ourselves out of. A lot of the reason why I do all that I do, because people say, I see you with all kind of people. There's a reason for that. Because a lot of times people stereotype me when they see me as a fair-skinned woman. Oh, she's going to act a certain way. She's going to be a certain way. I try to be not what you would expect at all. And so I think a lot of times we have to come out of ourselves and recreate what's going on. I think the Black community is not dead. I think it's not sleeping. I think it's not even crashing, but we got to come together and do something positive. We're going to make a difference.
And I'm glad that you said that too, because I think that, growing up, you and I, we were 80s babies, so we specifically, the 70s babies and 80s babies, we specifically grew up in a time where everything was completely integrated. When I went to school, I seen white, Black, Korean, Chinese, whatever. I seen it all. There was no difference to me. So, I don't have that division. It's not in my heart, and I wasn't raised that way to have that in my heart. But I think that everybody wasn't raised the same way. Everybody has a different outlook and perspective of what they consider, quote unquote, underground race. It's what I'm going to call underground racism, because now it seems like it has resurfaced.
Yes, it has.
Why do you think everybody, specifically African Americans, are so shocked about different people in the way that they've popped out now, and how they're so open about how they think about us?
Well, I think we're shocked because, it's not in our psyche, to me, for us to naturally be racist, because we're known as being different. That's all we know. So I think for us to see individuals just act the way they do or come out the way they are, it's just like, well, why though? We've had to deal with adversity our entire life. Like, what is it that you can't understand, But I think a lot of it has to do with just the election and different things that have happened in this past year, police brutality, that just let us know that this is still what we're dealing with. And how do we have this information? Media. Social media has let us in on all of these cases that have been going on forever and ever, but now it's in your face. So now we get to see all over the country how we're still dealing with a major issue.
And, what's so hurtful to me is that we have all of the evidence of any police brutality that could have been done.
Yeah.
And I will go on the record for saying that everything that is quote unquote what we deem as police brutality Sometimes, and I mean sometimes, very lightly, there have been incidences where the actual person who's being involved with the police officer may have instigated the situation.
Right.
But that's rare. You know,
Right.
a 12-year-old boy at a park having fun with a cap gun. I had a cap gun as a kid, 2 or 3 of them. You see what I mean? I played at the park all the time. You can't say that this child was getting ready to shoot somebody. Did you ask? Did you see? You see what I mean? Like, that right there, it makes... To me, is making the media make us look like we're stupid. And that is a humongous pet peeve of mine, is for anybody to insult my intelligence when I'm looking at what happened. I'm looking at it, and it's so... Do you think that it's become so numbing now with all these videos that we see on a consistent basis that people have now just kind of... Well, I don't want to say just go back in the caves, because the youth are sprouting out.
Yes.
But for the older generation who grew up in the civil rights era, who we're looking to now, do you think that they're just kind of fading to the black and saying, I've already experienced this already, and, you know, it's your generation time? But do you think that we need them?
Well, I think they're needed because they were here when a lot of it originated. So we're always going to need, you know, the people older than us to tell us what to do next and give us their insight because they've experienced it before. But I think a lot of it is going on because of the division that we have in our community. I think, especially with police brutality, they can get away with some of the things that they do because are we at those meetings that we should be?
You're right.
Are we in those places in office where we can make a difference, or are we somewhere griping and complaining and not being active in the community? So you're going to continue to do some things. You're going to continue to get away with some things until some people come together, as I was saying before, to make a difference.
All right. So that was some very good stuff. Once again, we have Lipstick Entertainment in the house today.
Yes.
They have an event coming up on April 22nd, and I'm going to let you give the address, information, time, name of the event once again for everybody.
So our event, April the 22nd, is from 1 to 4 at 55 South State Avenue, Suite 318, which is New Beat Radio. The name of the event is Give and Sip, and it's honoring the Julian Center. The Julian Center is a shelter here in the city, and they specialize in helping women and children that have experienced domestic violence. This is something that's very touching to my heart. And so we do something every spring for them, and we will have one of their representatives there and speaking on what the organization is about. Also at this event, if you want to come and share your story, your survival story, we would love to have you.
All right. And then once again, if anybody wants to be a part of your organization or help out with what's going on, how do they get in contact with you?
Please find us on Facebook at Lipstick Entertainment or Lipstick Entertainment Presents Queen. You can also email us at lipstickentertainment.bod@gmail.com, or you can call me directly, 317-701-6647.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you having you in the house with Lipstick Entertainment.
Thank you.
Indianapolis, this has been another edition of Insight Sundays. I want to make a reminder that next Sunday we will not be on the air because it's Easter Sunday, and everybody should take time to spend time with their family and enjoy that special day. So once again, we will check you guys out in the next 2 weeks here on Insight Sundays.